What a strange year this has been for Novak Djokovic. The Serbians faced one setback after another, and now it looks like he's going to miss the last slam of the year because of his vaccination status. While Noel himself has chosen to accept the consequences with grace, his coach Goran Ivanisevic has repeatedly criticized the U.S. government's rules. So what did Goran say now? Keep watching as we tell you all about it. First off, Noel has had a difficult, unfair year. In a recent interview with Sport Club, Goran expressed his frustration with the problems his player has been facing. He said that Noel has had a difficult, unfair year where many bad things happened to him. He then claimed that the 21-time Grand Slam winner deserved to win Wimbledon and that Noel and Nick Kyrgios are the two best grass court players in the world. Goran then said, "It's a pleasure and an honor to coach someone like Djokovic, a man who has conquered pretty much everything and is still hungry and eager for success." And yeah, it really is incredible how mentally strong Noel is. Despite all the controversies he's found himself in recently, he's still found a way to basically coast through Wimbledon and win it with apparent ease. We don't know how he does it. He's 35 years old at this point, and there's no reason he should be dominating the sport like he is. But then again, the big three have repeatedly proven that the rules just don't apply to them. Next up, Goran confesses Noel's chances of playing the U.S. Open are slim. It's kind of shocking to imagine that one of the best athletes in the entire world is going to miss out on 2 slams in the same year. Like, come on, this wasn't on our 2022 bingo list. This year was supposed to be the year that Noel told the world he was head and shoulders above the rest, but unfortunately, it just didn't work out like that. First, he was deported from Australia due to his vaccination status, and now the United States is denying him entry. While the U.S. Open itself doesn't have any rules regarding vaccination, the tournament has confirmed that it'll be respecting the government's rules. Of course, he could just get the jab, but let's get real, there's no way he's going to do that. He's made that abundantly clear over and over again. Noel's head coach recently confessed that a U.S. Open entry is looking very unlikely right now. Goran then joked that it's more likely that he himself will get an invitation and win UMAG than Noel being allowed to play at Flushing Meadows. He then criticized the government's stance and said that locals aren't required to get vaccinated, but as a country, they're closed off to unvaccinated individuals. He defended his player's decision not to get the jab and said that he respects and appreciates him for making a decision he will not change. The Croat claimed that when the media claims that Noel's having a bad influence on people, they're completely wrong. He just doesn't want to get vaccinated himself and doesn't want to introduce it to his own body. He's never told others what they should do. Okay, so here's where we stand on this. While the superstar may not have told people to stay away from the vaccine, he's certainly setting a terrible example for his many fans around the world. It isn't just limited to COVID-19 also. Once you plant the idea in someone's head that vaccines are inherently dangerous, they'll be skeptical to get one for pretty much anything. As a role model for millions, Noel should be doing better. And while we agree that the US government's rules regarding this are kind of contradictory, they have every right not to allow someone who could potentially be a danger to citizens. So what has Novak said about this? We mentioned before that Noel has been very clear about his decision not to get the vaccine. He's also accepted that if missing Grand Slams is the price he has to pay, he'll gladly do it. After his triumph at the All England Club, the iconic player once again said that he's not planning on getting vaccinated, so the only good news he can have is either if they change the rules or if they grant him an exemption. But he accepted that an exemption doesn't seem realistically possible because he doesn't even know what it would be about. He recently shared a video of him practicing and said that while he waits for any news on whether he'll be traveling to the US, he's preparing as if he'll be allowed to compete. This has given his fans some hope, and they're now wondering if he knows something we don't. After all, there has been a lot of pressure on current President Joe Biden to give the superstar an exemption. More than 4 politicians have publicly demanded this, and there's even a petition doing the rounds in support of the Wimbledon champ. The president has stayed silent about this so far, but as the tournament grows nearer and nearer, soon he may have no choice but to say something about this. So who knows? Maybe there will be a last-minute twist, and we'll see Noel pulling up at Flushing Meadows in all his unvaccinated glory. While it may set a super dangerous precedent, it'll certainly make his fans happy. Let's wait and see what happens. And that's all about Novak Djokovic and the US Open saga. Now it's time to move on to some more news from the fascinating world of tennis. First, Andy Murray has no plans to retire. Andy is undoubtedly one of the most likable players on the tour. Seriously, we love to see him play, and we love everything he says. And we're sure you'll be happy to hear that the Brit has no plans to retire at the moment. Yeah, he took a break a while back when he initially started battling his hip issues, but eventually he made a return to the sport, climbed his way back to the top 100, and even made it all the way to an ATP final this year. That's super impressive considering the 35-year-old literally has a metal hip. In a recent interview, he said that a lot of people feel like maybe he shouldn't be playing anymore, but he loves tennis and competing, and he believes that he can still get better. He added that if he ever reaches the point where he feels like he isn't improving or that he's going backwards, then and only then would he consider changing his mind. He added that the sport has given him an amazing life and purpose each and every day. There's a routine because he's always trying to improve himself and get better at it. Here's hoping he stays fit and continues to entertain us for the next few years. Next, Ash Barty ties the knot. Ash Barty is one of the most inspiring people on the planet. After conquering the sport of tennis at the age of 25, she chose to retire and pursue her other passions. She's currently writing a book series for children called Little Ash, where she encourages kids to try out different kinds of sports. In her personal life, she just hit a new milestone as she finally married her longtime partner, Gary Kissick. The event took place in a small ceremony in Queensland earlier this month. She revealed the news to her fans by posting a picture of her and her husband from the wedding day and captioned it "Husband and Wife." "We couldn't be happier for the beautiful couple, and we really hope they stay happy forever." Oh, and if you're wondering if she has any plans to come back to tennis, she doesn't. The 26-year-old superstar has repeatedly said that she's achieved pretty much everything she wanted to in professional sports and is now focusing on other stuff. And finally, Kyrgios faces a setback. Following his incredible run at Wimbledon, tennis fans are hoping that Aussie bad boy Nick Kyrgios will replicate his form and light up the U.S. Open as well. But now, his preparations for the tournament have faced a major setback. He was due to face Peter Gajowczyk in the first round of the Atlanta Open, but just minutes before the game, he announced that he would not be able to play due to a knee injury. The 27-year-old told the crowd that he was extremely shattered for not being able to compete. He reminded everyone that he won this tournament back in 2016 and is playing the best tennis of his life. Obviously, he wanted to come out there and give everyone a show, but because of his injury, he would have been unable to give out his best performance. He was replaced by Adrian Mannarino, who took full advantage of the situation and advanced to the next round by defeating Gajowczyk in 2 sets. This withdrawal will see Nick go down in the rankings, and he'll probably go from 47 to outside the top 60, depending, of course, on other results. Did you know that if ranking points had been awarded to the All England club, the Aussie superstar would be inside the top 20 right now? We're sure that's gotta sting. From what we know, he's working hard on recovering and is focused on giving his all at Flushing Meadows later this month. And honestly, we can't wait to see him in action once again. Love him or hate him, you have to admit, he's a true showman. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think Novak should be allowed to play in the US Open? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and we'll see you in the next one.